corporate recruiter here to review your resumes. The resume we have up first is a data analyst. I get a lot of tech resumes, but I also do non-tech resumes. I want to let everybody know, just tech is in the biggest slump they've ever been in since I think probably the .com crash, so that's why most of them are tech. So for a data analyst, the qualifications that I need, and I need about 75% of these, otherwise I cannot move you forward, is degree, industry, SQL, data visualization. Also, industry is, I can't be in every industry. There's going to be very specific industry keywords. I cannot be in all of them, but as long as I know what industry you're in, chances are you probably hit those right. Data visualization, Tableau, Power BI, Looker, stakeholders, explaining technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders. That is so critical. How you solved a problem with data, not what the data is. A lot of people mess that up. Again, I don't really care how you got the data. If you used a Monte Carlo simulation, VR, potato farming, I just care about what you did with it. MS Excel, macros, pivot tables, VLOOKUP, Word, and Python are multiple projects, and you've met deadlines, and a bonus for cloud. So I only have 20 seconds to find those because that is about how long an average recruiter will take to scan your resume. Not an ATS, a human. This is it. It's called the recruiter scan, except nobody actually calls it that. It's just, this is the only amount of time we have, and if we take longer than this, we'll probably get laid off, or not laid off, we'd probably get fired for not being efficient. So, can I find it in 20 seconds? Let's find out. What is this person's ratio? I don't think they sold me. Nope. So, let's find out. And go. How many reports and dashboards by data with SQL, data sets in Microsoft, Intern dashboard, evaluate committee system performance, perform data analysis, critical function integration with bottom line security food cause, automation dashboards in Tableau, engineered HL7, HPR, Epic, that might be industry specific. And okay, so I don't think this was would pass, but it's barely. So first off, they had fun with these titles, which I think was pretty funny. But how they wrote this was a little off. So generated comprehensive reports and dashboards. Okay, cool. What did you do though? Like, what was it? I guess it was clinical workflows. So you kind of went too corpo, right? Like, speaking corporate is its own language, but you should not use it in the resume. You actually shouldn't. I think a lot of people do all these big corporate words, but considering people only have 20 seconds to review your resume, you actually should go more basic, simple word. So basically, why use big word when small word do fine? And in this stuff, I would rather you just say created clinical workflow insights using SQL, Microsoft Excel, parentheses, VLOOKUP, pivot tables, blah, 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 and built dashboards, data visualization dashboards, and then you can put Tableau and Power BI to show our stakeholders X and Y. Because I still don't fully know what you did, right? Like, I know you built dashboards, but I didn't know the purpose of them, and the purpose of them matters. Then we go down here, perform data analysis. Okay, that's fine. On clinical system performance and integration bottlenecks. What is integration bottlenecks? Utilizing SQL, just say using, to query interface logs and healthcare data to identify root causes of delays. So honestly, these are the same. There's nothing here that you did not say here. And this is part of the reason you don't want to do that. Also, your formatting is slightly off. I know you did do the joke thing, but it should be left-centered. It's a little easier to read. And yeah, it should be on the left. That's what you want. Otherwise, that should be okay. But yeah, these say the same thing, right? Like, you already mentioned SQL here. You don't need to mention it here. Now, the way that works is each keyword, which I guess these are, and what a keyword is basically a skill that the hiring team is looking for. And I want to be clear, keywords are not qualifications. You need to meet 75% of the qualifications, not keywords. And what a qualification is a keyword plus how you did it, plus the reason or result of you doing it, plus where you did it. And this person has most of the keywords, but they don't really tell me what they did. They do kind of tell me how. I do need to know a little bit more about the reason or result of what they did. That is their big issue with this. That is why this is having some issues. So, I need to fix that. But the way it works is you want each bullet point needs to contain 3 to 6 keywords. 3 minimum, 6 maximum. And then you do need to tell me how and the reason or result of them. And then you don't want to repeat the same keyword in the same job. You can repeat it in other jobs. In fact, that is how you show years of experience, but you don't want to repeat it in the same job. And that is the problem. So that is why hammer hurts. These are some pretty funny ones. That is why you do not want to put SQL here if you already put it here, but you can't put it here. So to summarize, what they did right and wrong is right. They did tell me what it is. They did tell me how they did it. They did not tell me, though, the reason or result, and that is a bit of an issue. So then go down here is developed automated dashboard reportings in Tableau. You already set it up here to visualize data pipelines, providing stakeholders with clear metrics for quality improvement. What quality? Again, you're a little too vague on what you did. This might be very industry specific, so that's fine. So is there anything here that I would want different? I do say I need to know how you explain complex topics to non-technical people. And I do need to know what the data solved. You kind of told me that. So that is the big thing here is I don't see that you did multiple projects at the same time. I don't see that you met deadlines. I don't see that you explain complex topics to non-technical people. And you're missing a lot of the reason or results, which is pretty key. So overall, this would get some interviews, but if you make those changes, it would get a lot more interviews. That's all I can do for this resume. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out. You know, send it to your friends and family that need help. I'm glad to help as many people as I can. And if you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And, you know, I wanted to thank all of the members who are, you know, I don't know if it's called members or subscriber. I want to thank you all who are members of this channel. It lets you have a little bit of early access to some of the videos. And I just wanted to appreciate what you all have done. So thank you very much. And let's go to the next resume. This is a data engineer. This person has a 1 in 50, so this ratio is solid. So this is the equivalent of a C-. My belief is I will find some of the stuff I need, but it's either held back by being kind of difficult to read overall, so formatting, or I only see about 50 to 60% of what I need instead of 75%. So what I need for a data engineer is Python, ETL, or ELT, Scala, data, algorithm, SQL, big data, cloud, anything else involving data, so data models, data lakes, data analytics, data, whatever, Snow, any of those works. Actually, if I just see Snow, it's fine. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Snow, potato, snowflake, snow pipe, snow site, all of them are fine. Ability to manage and communicate data plans to non-technical people, massive. And SDLC, so again, this is the industry-specific stuff, so such as SDLC or HIPAA or ISO for manufacturing. I think it would be ISO for manufacturing. And DevOps, Jira, Confluence, or MS Office. So, can I find it in 20 seconds? And go. Okay, engineer backend service in Python for an internal data pipeline tools in AWS. Snowflake and Databricks to abstract to use Git for controls developed. Configured alerting Python AWS tracking, built ETL, Python 9.0 data flits, plunged as Databricks pipeline, created agile development processes, developed data synchronization, and okay, yes, this is exactly what I thought it was. This is not bad, it's just slightly bad formatting and a little too wordy. So let me read what you stated. I am updating my resume and changing my focus from backend to data engineering. This format is a recommended format for many recruiters here in Canada. I still disagree with it. I think this is a better format, but again, this could be worse. I got good interviews and offers, but got unlucky at some point, and now I'm trying to re-get interviews in the new year. So again, yeah, this is not bad. Like, I want everybody at home to know, I'm not saying this is a terrible, awful resume. This is about a 1 in 50, which is the equivalent of a C-, and that it does pass. This does pass. It's just you could make it better. So first off, Highly recommend this, even in Canada. I still think this is the best formatting. Second off is your bullet points, while not bad, man, that plane is loud, while not bad, are a little cumbersome. So, as an example, you mentioned AWS here and here. You don't need to do that. You should only have AWS here and here. So, again, rule, same keyword, same job, only one keyword per job, but you should have it in other jobs. So, as an example, you have AWS here and all the way at the bottom, which is fine. But here and here. So you only need one of them, and I would stick with the one up here. Second is, this is a bit of a cumbersome sentence, right? Like, engineer backend services in Python for an internal data lineage platform deployed on AWS, integrating with Snowflake and Databricks to model and track complex data dependencies for Git for version control and cut. We need to shorten that, right? That is way too much. So it does have what we need. We just need to shorten it. So I would say created an internal data platform in using Python, Snowflake, Databricks, RESTful APIs, Git on an AWS environment to track blankety blank or something. So that is how I would reword that. Developed and configured a monitoring and alert system in Python. You already mentioned Python earlier for Airflow on AWS, tracking performance. Again, it's not bad. It's just you already mentioned this here. Like, you don't need to do it. We already know that you have it through here. Then build ETL pipelines using SQL, Solid, Pandas, NumPy to clean, transform, and standardize large data sets used across analytics workflow. Well, fine. I don't really have any notes for that one. I think that's pretty good. Optimized. I don't think there's anything here except for Spark, which I feel like we could have in another sentence because the only thing here relevant is Spark. We do want to see Agile, but again, I think you could combine these. And you already mentioned Snowflake and Databricks earlier. So again, does this pass? Yes. Yes, it does. But we can make it pass more with those changes. So overall, good job. I like it. We just need to make those tweaks. Next, resume. This is a full stack software engineer. So what we're looking for in a full stack software engineer is TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. Gonna say that again. Every single person fills their resume with a bunch of other stuff, but they don't put TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. Those are critical. Though you need those. I'm gonna say it again. If you're going for full stack, I need you to have TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS in like the first line. All right. Sometimes you can get away with not having TypeScript by having another backend language, but you want those. Those are the most important. Then Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, API, RESTful API. Should add React to that, actually. That is something I should add. So React as well. SQL, APIs, RESTful APIs, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD cross-functionally, a backend language, so .NET or Python or Java, or C# or whatever. Bonus points for architecture, extra language, Git, and DevOps. This is a bad resume. This person has gotten 0 interviews for the past fall recruiting season. That is the only thing I know, is they've gotten 0 interviews. So, can I find what I need in 20 seconds? Probably not, because they've got no 0 interviews. So, and go. Okay. Can't use anything here. Architected a multi-region cloud. Good. In TypeScript using Lambda token-based paginations and S3. What? Okay. Define privileged IAM roles. What is FSDK, CDK? Is it like what is that? Build a logger using React side by side. Okay, and that's it. Yeah, this would definitely get yeeted and deleted. You have a mental, that's going to sound weird when I say it. Your problem is a mental way of thinking about it, not necessarily just with the resume, because I can kind of tell that you are thinking about this the wrong way. You are trying to impress me. So this is why you failed, right? Is you're trying to impress me. You're trying to say that you created a token retrieval system, API calls by 60%, infrastructure level using eliminating manual with auto speeds at 95%. You need to not. So I'm going to need you to delete this and do it again. All of it. All right? All of it. This is not a good resume, and here's why. First off, your formatting is awful. We need this or this. Okay? This is... No, that is another... That's a resume coming up. This should look like this. Or this. All right? This is how you do it. Right here. This is very difficult to read. Again, technical skills sections are completely irrelevant. They do not belong in your resume. Second, I don't care about your coursework. Does not matter. Third, this should be in one line, should not be bolded, and nothing down here should be bolded. But a bigger issue is the fact if your bullet points are not good. So when I say your bullet points are not good, I think you're thinking that I'm saying you're not good enough, and that's not the case. A resume's purpose is to find the basic qualifications. And the problem is you hype this up with all the not basic stuff. That's why I said I need to see, like in the first line, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. Is that basic? Yes. Do a lot of people have it? Yes. But nobody puts it in their resume. That's one of the big reasons you're getting rejected. You need the basic boring stuff. So when you say architected a multi-region AWS CloudWatch log retrieval system in TypeScript using Lambda token-based paginations and S3-backed gzip caching, reducing reliance on open source, cutting log fetch latency, and decreasing API calls by 60%, I will challenge you to find a role that asks for that. Not a single role is going to ask for that. No role is going to go to me and say, hey, Lee, I need you to make sure the candidates are reducing API calls by 60% and that they have used a token-based pagination and S3-backed gzip caching. Nobody's doing that. No job description is having that. So I need you to delete this and go back to the starting board again, because you know what I want to see for full stack? I want to see architected, that's a fine way to say it, right? Architected a AWS log system using TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, and HTML that reduced our API something, right? I don't need the percentage. That is an infinitively better sentence than what you said. Because nobody's asking for defined least privileged IAM roles. Like, I get it. You're getting rejected every day, and you think that, oh, I'm not good enough. It has nothing to do with how good you are. It has to do with having the basic qualifications. Your personal, like, panic at trying to make sure it shows that you're good is the problem. Remember, it's the basics. Nobody's asking for 95% test coverage. Nobody is. They're asking for, did you work in an agile environment and use CI/CD? Like, you're putting the job postings on a pedestal. In the job, they may ask you to do that, but no one's asking you to do that, to submit your resume like that. So please go back and look at the job description, because it's this. This is what they want. And this might be a teeny bit outdated because I have to wait about a week, because, again, the new versions of these are coming on the 12th, and this is the 5th when I'm recording this, but it should still be 75% of this. I need to see SQL. I don't see SQL. I don't see CI/CD. I don't think CDK. Is that the agentic stuff? I mean, they're not going to know that if it is. It's very rare. I don't even think that one's right. Y'all can actually correct me in the comments of that. It's been like a little bit since I did the agentic stuff, so I'd have to refresh my memory. But yeah, this is applying for a job that doesn't exist. Like, this is not the stuff that they're looking for. So this person's in chat, so I'm going to help them out after on my Twitch chat. But for everybody else, we're going to the next resume. This is a full stack software engineer. So what we need in a full stack software engineer is the same as the last one, so I don't have to repeat that. This person has a 1 in 100 ratio, so I am making the assumption that this resume is bad, but not unsalvageable. Usually that's what a 1 in 100 is. It's not great, but like, not 1 in 150. So, let's see. Can I find what I need in 20 seconds? Let's find out. Built web application using TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, React, and Node for security, issuing, and verified data credentials. Design and implement RESTful SQL to authorize credential workflow at scales. Deployed. Why did you put it there? 2 separate cloud credential services. Government code. What? GitHub CI/CD. Okay, so there's some stuff here that works. This is a little confusing. I think you're not really telling me the how or the why here. There's something off about this. Let me read what you stated first. Things are going much better since your first round of feedback. Thank you so much. Yes. I've gotten a lot more interviews that are still going on because of it. Let's see. I think there's still room to improve, and my application interview ratio is still pretty high. Feel free to roast anyway. So, remember, you're probably applying from November to January 12th. There's no jobs between them. No, it doesn't matter how good your resume is. Between mid-November and January 12th, it's chaos. It's just pure chaos in hiring. You can have the best resume in the world and still get nothing. So don't use that as your ratio. How to fix this is, I would say, I actually want more details. I just a small one is for securely issuing and verifying digital credentials for our X. That's all I need to know. Whatever this is, for our website, for whatever. So I just need a small amount of details to give me context, because verifying digital credentials is too unknown. I need you to tell me for what. So just tell me the what about that, and that sentence should be fine. Designed and implemented RESTful API and SQL database queries is fine. Although, again, remember, I want three keywords per bullet point max, like minimum, if you can, to support authoring credential workflows at scale for RX, right? Here's the shock bar. I need a little bit more context. Not a ton, but just a little bit more. And then here is deployed load testing platforms that are hyperlinked. I don't know why you hyperlink this. Please don't. 2 separate clouds, GCP and AWS, validating credential infrastructure under simulators 1,000 users for government. So I would rephrase this instead and say, let's say, oh boy, for our 60K code with us government contract, deployed 2 separate clouds, GCP and AWS, to validate credential infrastructure under hundreds of thousands of users, or under a massive amount of users or something. This is written really weird, and I probably will have to help you in the stream on this one, because that one is just kind of confusing. And then again, remember, we want 3 per. We want 3 minimum if we can. 2 is just not quite enough. Implemented GitHub pipelines integration you test using PyTest to release and enforce quote quality. This one's fine. Again, except now that has 3 of them. Manage version control Git. I need more information. So what I think you should do is sort of delete this and put its keywords here. So I just need a little bit more. Just a little bit, right? This is pretty solid. I think come January 12th, once you make those changes, even with this, it's going to be good. I just need a little bit more, right? Like that's kind of the big thing, is you're almost there. I don't think this is a 1 in 100. I think you were just using the, Q4 ratio, which does not exist. So, and then developed conventional Python TensorFlow, good. Again, I don't want the hyperlinks. Keep your hyperlinks in the your GitHub. And your education is not in physics is kind of tough, because sometimes they do like physics students. So I think your education is there. Yeah, just some small tweaks. Overall, this is good. I want to be clear. This is not 101. This is, I will say the education, it might be a little bit tough, but this is probably closer to a 1 in 40, 1 in 50, maybe 1 in 35 once the hiring actually starts up again on January 12th, which by the time you all watch this, it should have. So, overall good. I'm going to help you a little bit in chat, but I don't think you need too much. And then let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a mechanical/aerospace structural engineering intern. Except it's really more of a mechanical engineering intern, because you actually don't need a ton of stuff for an intern, right? You really only need 4 things. You need your degree. You need to show a basic knowledge of and what is the industry. So in this case, for mechanical engineering, it would be SolidWorks, CAD, documents, the specific parts, so in this case, aerospace, and then the stuff you worked on, so I imagine this would be structural stuff of aerospace, Microsoft Office, and Revit 3D. You also need the ability to work well with others, and you take direction and criticism. And that's it. That's really it. That's all you need for interns. The exception is when you're a master's or PhD intern. Those are a little bit different. But for bachelors, I don't think I've ever seen an internship that did not ask for something that fell into those buckets in my life. Again, masters, you start getting a little more technical. But so this person's ratio is... I don't know. They did not tell me. All right, so let's see if I can find it in 20 seconds. And go. Validate structural integrity aircraft wings using FEA to restore failure. Modified aircraft geometry of reducing overall weight. Created MATLAB. Developed Python scripts. Redesign Liquid to increase eligibility. So you have some of the stuff for this, right? The problem is I don't really see where you work as a team. Yeah, because this is kind of, it's all the way down here. I didn't even get to this part. So let me see what you wrote. The bullet points were just made this weekend, so I have no information about the ratio. I want to focus on improving the bullet points under my internship. Thank you. Okay, so again, this is not bad. This is not awful. This is not reject it, destroy it. There are some tweaks that you could do. So this is almost fine, right? Validated the structural integrity of aircraft wings and engine frames. That's actually really good. I like seeing that. Using FEA and NS to predict where failure will occur before costly physical projects are built. I would like one more other keyword in there if possible, but overall it's fine. Modified aircraft wing geometry. The thing is, you already mentioned aircraft wings, so that doesn't count as another one. In CAD, Siemens NX could be useful, but that kind of counts as one, and I need a little bit more. So really, I don't think you need 4 bullet points. I think you could crunch this together into 3. But what I would like to do is I need to see how you can take direction and criticism. So you do say how you can work together as a team. The problem is you say it all the way down here, and people may not even... Hopefully they can get that far, but they may not. That actually should probably be up here, truthfully, so they get to it quicker. But I don't really see... Here it is. Okay. Created a MATLAB script to automate test analysts by incorporating feedback from weekly technical reviews with head engineer. This is good. Okay. It's your bullet points are slightly too long, right? Like right now I am at hour 3.5 of my live stream. I have been reviewing resumes for a while. My brain ain't braining right now. And it's very possible that a recruiter is going to be that position too. And they may miss what you have. So this is why we need to fix this. So how I would change this is validated the structural integrity of aircraft wings and engines using FEA ANS is great to predict where failure will occur before prototypes are built. In fact, I don't even think I need this. Will occur while, and then we can say incorporating weekly feedback from the head engineer who would basically combine. I'm going to help you. My brain is not braining. We're at 3.5 hours. I can explain this to you off the stream, but basically you're going to combine this one, this sentence, and this sentence. And that should give you enough. So you could say used, right? FEA, MATLAB, and something else to help assist with the structural integrity. And then at the end of it, you can put in the feedback from technical reviews with head engineers. So, and then here, again, I need a little bit more. So again, you just need to crunch these up because it's entirely possible that the recruiter is, well, probably not live streaming after 3.5 hours, but they may be sick. They may have had no sleep. They may miss this stuff. And the problem is you kind of put the good stuff we need at the tail end of your sentences. So again, this is not bad. It's just this is the ways to improve it, to make it from like a 1 in 50 to like a 1 in 15. Otherwise, I think you've got most of this, but I did not see Microsoft Office, which is pretty critical. Did I see Revit? I didn't. So again, I do like FEA, even though it's not there. I like Siemens. I like MATLAB. I think I just need you to crunch the sentences down a little bit more. And I would like to see... Did I have SolidWorks? Yeah, I would like to see SolidWorks, Microsoft Office, and Revit. Not bad, though. Again, should have a lot more chances when the things open up. But that's all I can really do for this one. And again, I'm going to help them more out on my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. So please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me. And again, thank you to all of my members who can watch videos a little bit early. I wanted to thank you all very much. I appreciate that. And I will see you all in the next video, and my mind will be refreshed because 3.5 hours of streaming makes a recruiter's mind go boo, 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 boo. I'll see you all in the next video. Later, y'all.